guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale, and as you can see, we are in the clan Diego versus Marcel, and that can only mean one thing. That's right, the Pro v Pro series continues today, and we're gonna see if Diego B can win 5 matches in a row. Now, to catch you up onto how we got to where we are today, Diego B beat Surgical Goblin to dethrone Surgical as the pro, the king of the hill, the pro to beat. And then he beat, who is second? Jeez, it's I can't even remember now. The second guy that, well, anyway, it was Backstabx. So Surgical Goblin, Backstabx, and then he beat Colton W83, and then he beat, most recently, CMcHugh. And now we're here. He's facing Marcelp, trying to go for 5 wins in a row against some of the world's best players in Clash Royale. So to catch you guys up on the rules, in case this is the first time that you're watching a Pro v Pro, first of all, welcome to the channel. I'm Ash, aka Tim. We're here today to watch these two pros go best of 5. So whoever gets to 3 wins first, and there's no special rules, meaning that these players are free to use the same deck every single match if they want to, or they can switch things up how they see fit. Again, no bans, no rules, and we're into the first match here. So let's see what these pros come to the table with for the first match in our best of 5 here. We have Marcelp on the bottom in blue, and Diego B, the returning champ, on the top in red. So Diego starts out with a knight, Marcel counters with a bowler and an ice golem. I imagine Marcelp might be playing a graveyard deck. He's definitely known for them, and starting off with the bowler and the ice golem, I would suspect that. Now, a royal giant played in the right lane for Diego, but hard countered immediately with that inferno tower, and then the minions played on the ice golem there for Diego. But the problem is minions were also his best graveyard counter. So as soon as Marcelp sees those minions played on his bowler, he immediately dropped that graveyard. And then Diego says, oops, well played. You can only suspect it's because he realizes that he used those minions. He had no other option than to resort to the Electro Wizard to counter the graveyard, which is a decent counter, but as you can see, 974 HP remaining on Diego B's tower. Not that decent of a counter used all by itself. So again, it looks like Marcelp here is just reloading, as is Diego B doing the same thing, dropping off the royal giant behind his king tower, facing head on the bowler and the ice golem again for Marcelp. Now remember, Marcelp does have the inferno tower back in his rotation, so he does have that hard counter to the royal giant. So he plays the very, very quick preemptive graveyard there, forcing Diego to defend. Diego a little bit better defending against the second graveyard, but not too much there. He does play the knight in the log there, but 533 HP remaining. It looks like he might just, I was going to say he might just give the tower to Marcel there, but the bowler might, no, the bowler didn't get it. So 365 HP remaining, not a heck of a lot. Nice log there to take out the Electro Wizard and also to chop that tower down to within poison kill range there. So it looks like, I'd imagine on the next push after this one, if Marcelp does not take this tower down, he's probably going to switch lanes, and there he goes right now, switching lanes really quickly with that Ice Golem Graveyard Poison combo on that right tower. Now with about 30 seconds left when he dropped that poison, he did have enough to save another poison back in rotation against the left tower, but he didn't even need it there, as he had the bowler finish off that left tower, and it looks like with only 10 seconds left, the royal giant goes down, and oh my god, Marcelp, I don't want to call it early, he has lightning, does Diego, but no time left to cycle to the lightning in the log there to take out that tower, and Marcelp comes out with the victory to start things out in this best of 5. Wow, I am pretty surprised. So good game. Marcelp up 1-0, Marcel's lead here. So interesting start there by Diego, playing the Royal Giant deck out of the gate. Now, I know that Diego's played Royal Giant almost every single match or every single series at least once, but usually he starts out with Graveyard. Diego B, very strong and well known for being a really good Graveyard player. Marcelp on ladder, really well known for being a versatile player, but he's especially well known for being a very good Hog Rider player. So match number 2, you can see already underway here. Very nice Fire Spirits there by Marcelp. What happened at the beginning of this match was Marcel put down the Elixir Pump, and then immediately Diego B going super aggressive at the bridge with the Knight and the Giant and the minions. You can see the minions were taken care of by those Fire Spirits, but a very nice poison there for Diego B. I was going to say not the start that Diego wanted until he was able to drop that poison. And look at that, guys. It's an Expo, so Marcelp playing an Expo deck for his second deck played here. Diego B, it's interesting that he's going with a classic giant poison, the Goizen deck that so dominated the meta previously. We're going to have to wait and see what the final 3 cards are there, but that was a very nice counter to that Expo. Diego able to cycle back to his giant after playing him as one of the first plays of this match, getting a little bit of damage on that left tower, but look at that. The giant kills the Expo and then does a decent amount of damage, a lot of damage actually, to that right tower. And look at that again. This time Diego catching Marcelp off guard after he plays the pump there. Well, he has no choice but to play the pump, does Marcelp, because he had just played his archers, and his archers were his best counter to the graveyard. So both of these players in the first 2 matches of this contest, doing a good job at realizing when the opponent's best counter to their graveyard is out of hand. A little bit of a surprise there that Diego B is playing graveyard in this deck, but now it kind of all makes more sense. As you can see, it's not really the classic Goizen deck, it's a giant graveyard deck with the Goizen combo as well. Another good value poison there for Diego B on that right tower, chipping away at the defensive Expo. You can see Marcelp playing the defensive Expo there, kind of anticipating probably a graveyard rush, knowing that he was down in Elixir, or at least knowing that Diego B had graveyard back in his rotation there. So another good Inferno Tower play by Marcelp there, but unfortunately, he's just kind of treading water at this point. He can't get his Expo to lock onto either of Diego B's towers, and you guys know when you're playing a Siege deck, specifically an Expo deck, very, very difficult to come back from a 1-tower deficit, especially when there's really nothing. It's a good hard counter deck, I should say, by Diego B. He does have the Tombstone, he has Knight, and he has, of course, Giant. So a very nice matchup there, a very nice victory for Diego B, and things are 1-1 right now. So we're all tied up going into match number 3. So good game, 1-1. And, so starting things off, it's interesting. Both of the graveyard decks won. So let's take a look at these decks so far that we've seen, starting with this matchup here. So again, the graveyard by Marcelp taking down the Diego B deck. Diego B playing kind of a classic Royal Giant Furnace deck on that first matchup. In the second matchup, it was the same story, only opposite. The graveyard, again, doing a number on Marcelp. Both of these guys playing a deck with only one really good graveyard counter, the minions by Diego on the first match, and then the archers by Marcel on the second match. And as we talked about earlier, as we wait for these guys to be ready to accept here, as we talked about earlier, once, especially that very first graveyard played by both of these guys, they caught the opponent without their good counter in hand and did a lot of damage on that very first usage. So it looks like Marcelp might be creating a new deck here. He knows the stakes are very high, so it's just going to be a matter of time before we see what he comes out with here. I would suspect that Marcelp or Diego, one of these guys, has to be thinking one of two things. It's like a rock, paper, scissors match, right? Is my opponent going to play graveyard again If so, should maybe I throw in an extra graveyard counter into my deck? Say these guys were only playing minions or only playing archers. Do you throw in the archers and the minions on top of the other cards so you have 2 hard counters to graveyard? It's an interesting question, but I'm not sure if you should go making these adjustments based on prediction plays of what deck the opponent's going to play. So we'll have to see what both of these guys did, but you can see we are underway with match 3 here. Diegob starting out with the Furnace, Marcelp countering with the cheaper Tombstone that's going to be able to counter that Furnace. Diegob none too happy about it. And look at that, Marcelp switching things up, and so is Diego. Diego playing the Golem, Marcelp playing the Lava Hound. What do you guys prefer to play if you had to be one of these players in this matchup? Do you prefer being the Golem player in the big heavy Golem beatdown deck, or the Lava Loon, now that we know, player in Marcelp? Me personally, I think just if I had to choose based on the matchup, I think I'd rather be the Lava Loon player going against the Golem beatdown player. And already right off the bat, Marcelp connecting with that balloon on the left tower of Diegob for a lot of damage there. 654 HP left on that left tower for Diegob, and that is not the start that Diego wanted there. So it's interesting to see if either of these players are going to be playing the Elixir Pump in their decks. I mean, going with a more expensive beatdown deck, you think that Diego might be playing Elixir Collector right now, but Marcelp does drop off the Lava Hound, this time switching to the right lane. I wonder if Marcelp is playing Lightning as well in this deck, seeing that he did switch lanes pretty late into the match. We are over halfway point. So a Golem played at the bridge by Diego here. What is Diego going to follow up with? And minions, arrows as the answer by Marcel. Now Marcel has a nice push going on of his own in the right lane there, and look at that. No answer by Diegob. Playing that Golem at the bridge was a very risky and aggressive move by Diego, and he ends up losing in the exchange. Diegob loses his right tower now, and things are not looking good for him. He might take down that left tower, but look at this, only 200 and change HP on that left tower for Diego. He has the baby dragon on the board, not going to do much against that other tower there, and Marcelp going strong for the king tower, starting a brand new push with only 40 seconds left here with that Lava Hound. So Marcel, you can tell he does have the lightning here, so once that Lava Hound gets to the king tower, he's going to use the lightning, take down that left tower, do additional damage to whatever Diego counters with. We might not even have time to see it at this point. With only 20 seconds left on the clock, we see the final 2 cards by Diegob are indeed cheap cards, explaining why he didn't have the Elixir Pump in the deck. In the log and the skeleton, really not doing a lot for Diego in this matchup, and you can see it looks like Marcel is going to pretty handily take match number 3 here, and he does indeed. So, wow, this is an incredible exchange of wins here. It's really alternated. So, Marcel takes the first match, Diego takes the second, Marcel takes the third. We're 2-1 Marcel right now, and these best of 5s, they really move along fast here. And Diego, at this point, he says, GG, Loon feels bad. I'm sure we've all been there in that situation before. But at this point in the match, guys, if Diegob loses here, we'll have a new champion. It will be Marcelp, and I'll have to find somebody to try to take him down. That's going to be a very tough challenge, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Oh, look at that. Marcel. Oh, wait, best of 5. He thought he already won. Not best of 3, Marcel. Best of 5. Premature celebration. Not a funny joke, Ash. Shut up. All right, let's spectate. All right, so this is do or die for Diego here, okay? So he's going against Marcel. Marcel again at the top, Diego on the bottom, Diegob on the bottom. The blue player has to win this match, and Marcelp right off the bat starts out with another Lava Hound. Diegob has to be kind of upset about that after getting really decimated by that Lava Hound in the previous matchup. Well, decimated is probably a strong word, but either way, he lost to it, right? So now it looks like, oh, Diego forced to use the log there. It's going to leave him I wonder what he has to counter the Lava Loon here. It doesn't look like much. He plays a very smart Electro Wizard, a very smart Furnace there. He has to stop that balloon, and the Electro Wiz should be able to take that down, that balloon, but a good Mega Minion on the Mega Minion now on the Electro Wizard, and the balloon does not get to the tower, thankfully, for Diego there, but you can see he's forced to play, Diego forced to play that Knight there to distract that Mega Minion. Otherwise, that Mega Minion would have probably taken that tower down to just a few hundred HP as he was with full health already at the tower. So not the start that Diego wanted there. He did get a decent amount of damage on that right tower, though, off Marcelp. I didn't even notice. It is down to 1480 compared to 1362 on his own tower. So this time, Marcel drops off the Lava Hound again, but on the other side of the arena, you can see the Royal Giant, a very nice log there, taking out the guards and the skeletons from that tombstone, able to get that tower down to 585. Not bad there, but a nice arrows by Marcelp, and he only has 2 elixirs, so what is he going to do here? He's probably just going to let this push die, but does Diego have anything? He's forced again to use the Knight there to distract those pups, but I don't know. I don't like the way things are going here, especially as we enter in right now to double elixir time. I feel like Marcelp's big beat-down Lava Loon deck actually performs better. Usually the more expensive decks perform better in double elixir time than the cheaper decks, and even though Diego's deck isn't super cheaper, oh, by the way, guys, pay attention here. Diegob takes down Marcel's right tower, but look at this, a big push incoming here for Marcelp. He just drops off his second Lava Hound here. Diego, he plays a log there, but this is interesting. This could be trouble here. Look at all these pups, look at the Mega Minions, and then he takes down the tower. He can drop off the balloon now that the tower is off the board, and this could be trouble here. We have guards coming in. Diego forced to use the lightning, but it's not going to be enough here. The Hound is going to pop, and I think this is going to be a 3 crown to end things off, and it is. Wow, we have a new champion, ladies and gentlemen. It is Marcelp. Diegob won 4 Pro V Pros in a row here, but he loses to Marcelp, and hey, huge props to Diegob. He beat so many pro players. In fact, he swept a lot of them. Huge shout out to all the pros that stood up to and faced Diegob and just narrowly missed taking him down. But unfortunately for Diego, today, Marcelp does in fact do the job. He dethrones the King of the Hill, and we have a new champ in the CWA Pro V Pro Series. Marcelp is now the pro to beat. So guys, I hope you enjoy this series. You can see that I'm hyped up about it. I really like watching these best players in the world face off head to head. If you have any players that you'd like to recommend for me to recommend to Marcelp to face off in the next video, go ahead and let me know, and we'll have Marcelp coming back at you guys facing the next pro in the next CWA Pro V Pro Series coming at you very soon. So guys, I just wanted to finish off this video by thanking my YouTube sponsor, Bren Chong. Make sure you follow him on Instagram and Twitter for daily giveaways and Clash Royale tournaments. And with that, I'm going to leave you guys. Hope you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.